The next person we're going to hear from is Ron Bekkerman. And like I mentioned, if you're just tuning in, this is the most opportune time to ask any questions on knowledge graphs because we've got all the experts here and they're ready and willing to, stick around and answer your questions on LinkedIn. So Ron Bekkerman, I'm going to go ahead and bring you onto the stage. Let's see. There you are. Sorry, there's a
Hi, Kate.
Hello, Ron. How's it going?
Hi. Good.
All right. So you're with is it Cherry Inc? Am I saying that right?
Cherry. Just
Cherry.
like the
Cherry. How did that come about?
Oh yeah, it is. So the RE at the end is coming from real estate.
Okay.
And there are so many different word games that people can play with it. For example, the big cherry is the opposite for big apple, cherry on the top of the cake and stuff like that. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Okay, got it. And so your talk at the conference is around modeling the real estate ecosystem with Cherry's knowledge graph. So wanted to, ask, what does real estate industry have to do with knowledge graphs? How are they related?
Yeah, actually, you know what? They are kind of not. So the real estate industry is very traditional and very old. Investments are being done pretty much, it's a correspondence between two people who decide to sell and to buy. And all the investments are extremely local. So you need to know the location where you want to invest. Once you have invested, the money is going to be out there for decades. So it's very much not liquid. And it just lacks all the characteristics of a normal financial market type of an investment. So we want to change that. And the way we change that is we look at what investors usually do when they invest in real estate. And I am talking about big institutional investors that buy properties for hundreds of millions of dollars. And what they do is they get enough information, a lot of data about specific properties that they want to buy. And they have quite a lot of macroeconomic characteristics of the markets and asset classes. So it's very high level, very coarse grain. There is no layer in between, and they really need it. What they need is they need to know what's going on around the property that they want to buy, both in terms of the locality, just geography, and in terms of who the owners are, why they're selling, how much they want to go down in price and stuff like that. So once we build the knowledge graph of the entire ecosystem, we're actually connecting all these things together. So a property is going to be connected to an owner, and owner is going to be connected to a different property that they own. All this is within the locality of the geography that the investments are going to be made. And this allows investors to see the whole picture, both the 30,000 feet view of what's going on and the very much down the ground what is going on with your particular property, your asset class, or your specific portfolio that you have already. So that's what we have right now. We have properties and addresses and people and governmental organizations and companies in our knowledge graph. We have about 500 million nodes in our knowledge graph, about 1.5 billion edges. And this is the model of the entire ecosystem. So it's everything that you can see in the United States of America. And this is a fairly big market, right? So we're talking about something like $100 trillion market. So we built all our analytics on top of it. And yes, that's what Cherry is all about.
Wow, very cool. I mean, I think there's just such a great opportunity right now to disrupt the real estate industry. I think you're right. I mean, they haven't really changed the way they do business for a long time. I used to do a little bit of real estate on the side for fun. So I know a little bit about that space. But a question here. So we have knowledge graphs. We've got real estate knowledge graphs. How do they differ?
Yeah, so there are a few main differences in the real estate knowledge graph. First of all, and the most interesting one is that the knowledge graph is what's called closed world, meaning that in many knowledge graphs, you need to fill it up with facts that you haven't discovered yet. In the real estate knowledge graph, if there is no connection between two nodes, it essentially means that there is no connection. So we can make inferences not on top of what exists, but also on top of what doesn't exist. So those two companies have never done business together. For example, this is very strong. It's a big luxury to have a knowledge graph like that, because in many other domains, it's just not possible. Another aspect is that the knowledge graph that we have is not scale-free. Scale-free is that every node has many connections, right? Neighbors, and some nodes can be extremely well connected. So the distribution goes like the power law, and some nodes that are too well connected make the entire graph very difficult to deal with. Think about Twitter, for example, like, those mega nodes that connect like millions of others that are actually don't really connect to each other. Right. So in our domain, it's not the case, and it's also a very good news for us. So the most well-connected nodes have probably thousands to maybe dozens of thousands of connections, and definitely not millions or billions. So that allows us to spread that network more evenly, and that allows us to make better analytic predictions on top of it.
Great. Well, Ron, thank you so much for giving us a sneak preview of what people can expect to hear at the Knowledge Graph conference coming up. Thank you again for your time. And where can people go to learn more about Cherry?
Cherry.com.
Cherry.com. Easy as that. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Kate.
Okay.